I am super excited to get into this conversation that we're going to be having today. This conversation is actually picking up off of what we discussed last week in the Live with Jay, starting off the second season. This comes at a great moment in time whenever you are thinking about 2020, 2026, not 2025, but 2026, and how you can actually get the most out of that year and hit the ground running. Actually, you can keep up the momentum. And I really wanted to speak to the idea that if you have an offer that has been collecting dust and it's just been sitting there on your shelf because you have lost faith in that offer, or if you think that it's too late in the year for you to actually sell it, I want to stop you right there. And I want you to change how you're looking at your offer and your business structure, because it is not too late. It is not too late for you to go ahead and sell that offer, to launch that offer, nor is it too late for you to have success or set up yourself and your business for success in 2026, because the success for 2026 doesn't begin January 1st. It actually begins this month. It begins right now. So I want you to change again your perspective on how you do business. I want you to change your perspective on how you look at your offers. And I want you to change your perspective of the calendar year for your business. Okay. So last week I came with you with the idea of a Q5, and I gave you the 1-2 punch to have a successful Q5 or quarter five. If you're wondering, what is a Q5? Quarter five. And that 1-2 punch was that you have a high value offer in November that's going to convert fast. So that means that it aligns with what your audience already needs. And it helps you to be able to close the year off strong. The second thing, or the second element to that punch, is that you have a targeted strategy for December that's going to turn that audience into buyers as you head into the new year. So today I'm going to be breaking down exactly how to build that high value November offer, and one of the ways that you can lay the groundwork and fund Q1 before January even begins. Okay? So this isn't about throwing together a last minute Black Friday, deal, or heavily discounting your services or anything like that. Has absolutely nothing to do with that. So I don't even want you to think about, okay, so she's going to tell me how to slash my prices and get more clients come the end of November and at the end of the year. No, we're not talking about that. But it's about creating and aligning your offers into a way that it is impactful, highly impactful, and profitable. So you want to have a service driven offer that your audience actually wants right now. Okay, so if you don't know who I am Jay Black, the owner and head strategist for Jay Black & Co. And what I do is I work with coaches to help them navigate not only their businesses as a CEO, but to have in place the proper offers, systems, and funnels that's going to help them navigate through the 4 different stages of business growth, development, and scaling. Okay, so that's what I do all day, every day, and I actually enjoy it. I have been doing that for over the past 15 years, closer to 20 years. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm saying that, but it is. Uh, and I absolutely love doing it. So let's go ahead and get into it. So again, last week I talked about the Q5 mindset, that it's a 65 plus day sprint from the beginning of November through the first week or two in January, that's going to lay down the foundation for your success for the next year. It's a business mindset shift that's going to separate those who are seasoned entrepreneurs from those who are amateurs. It's where you either coast through this time of year or you capitalize on it. This week, we're going to take the first step of that Q5 plan, which is looking at your high value November offer. This is the offer that actually pays for the piece that you want in January. So where everyone is trying to find their momentum, they're trying to build their momentum, you already have your momentum. You're already capitalizing on that time, that space, that energy that others are trying to create. So when everyone else is out there hustling to launch the whole kitchen sink at their audience, you're already coasting because you already built that momentum that was set weeks before. So this is the piece and the pace that's going to give you the cash flow now on until the continuation of Q1, okay, of the next year. And it's going to position you as the go-to coach because you're already in that mode. You're already in beast mode where everybody else is kind of like in kitten mode and they're trying to grow up. You know what I mean? So here's the problem that I have seen, and this is the biggest mistake that I see coaches make in November. So before I get into that, let me go ahead and get my little drink, which of course is water. Oh, gotta have like some, I was gonna say liquid libations, but gotta have some juice, some water on hand. But this is the biggest mistake that I see coaches make when it comes to November. They either discount their main offer into oblivion. So they go from it being like this, like they'll say that their one-on-ones, right, are, I'm just going to say $10,000, right? And then they're going to be like, okay, so you can get like your first one-on-one or your first grouping, your first month of one-on-ones for like $1,000. Excuse me, ma'am. Where did that come from? Where did that idea, where did those figures come from? But they're so thirsty to have clients that they will again discount their main offer, their high value offer, into oblivion, or they're going to launch something that totally confuses their audience. It's something that it's not a compliment at all. It's not anything that's going to help them on their transformational journey. It's nothing that speaks to your brand voice, your brand promise. It does none of those things. And it totally, it comes out of left field. So here's the truth. November is not the time for you to create something new. Let me say that again. November is not the time for you to create something new. Why is that the case? Again, because you're trying to fit yourself into a sprint. And you haven't trained for that sprint. You haven't prepared for that sprint. You haven't laid the groundwork for that. So in your haste, you're making decisions that don't make sense. Your business isn't prepared for it. Your audience isn't prepared for it. Your team isn't prepared for it. So therefore, you're walking into this totally unprepared. You don't have a strategy. You don't have a game plan. You're working from an area of thirst and desperation. It's like, okay, you're trying to do an hour conversation and you have no water. You're not prepared for the journey that you're trying to go on. Okay, so you have an offer that doesn't make sense. You're trying to launch things that don't make sense, and you're discounting your main offer, and it's doing more harm than good. You're discounting your value, what you bring to the table, the transformation that you can provide. All of that you're cutting out of desperation. So November is not the time, you're not in the right space to create something new. It's the time to reposition and repurpose what's already working. You need to package it for emergency, alignment, and ease. Not only alignment and urgency and ease for them, but for you. Yes, you want it. It is urgent because you want to go ahead and, convert those who are in your audience. So that's understandable. But you need things that align with your brand promise, with the transformation that you can provide, um, with your voice, your POV, with your audience themselves. And it needs to be easy for you to be able to deliver. It needs to be easy for them to sign up for. It needs to be something easy for you to later on build on and convert at another level so you can deepen that relationship with them. Okay, so you don't need 10 new ideas. You don't need to go on chat and be like, okay, so what are 10 ideas that I can, that's going to help me create a course within the next 30 days? You don't need that. Reposition and repurpose what's already working. You need one irresistible offer that's a no-brainer that bridges the gap between now and your next launch season. So if you're going to launch, if you typically launch between the first and the third quarter, then you need something that's going to bridge between now and your launch in the first quarter, right? Okay, so your November, let's reframe how you're looking at November and how you're acting and showing up in Q5. So your November offer needs to do two things. It needs to generate immediate revenue. Two, it needs to warm your audience for your 2026 launch cycle or your Q1 launch cycle. Does that make sense? Again, because I said it needs to be a bridge, right? So it needs to be something that's going to warm your audience and prime them, get them ready for whenever you go through your launch cycle in Q1. Think of it as a bridge offer. It's short, high impact, results driven. Okay, that's your forever offer. It's your strategic offer. Okay, I want to pause right here to see if there are any questions that have popped up. If anyone has joined, anybody have any comments or anything like that while I get me a sip of water. Okay. Yes. Yes. I love this. I love this. Yes. I see. Your people are commenting that yes, this is exactly what I needed. Yes, Jay, go ahead and shift these mindsets. Yes. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Okay, I got a lot of amens. Girl, I'm grabbing my pen and paper classes in session. Get me all the way together. Oh, go ahead and snatch my business edges. That's what I'm talking about. And that's what I'm here for. To help you get it together for the get your business together so that you can meet those goals. Those goals that you set for yourself are attainable, and all of the in between. It is. You can reach those goals. It's not too far beyond you. If you're willing to do the work, you can get what you want within reason. Within reason. Okay, so let's talk about the framework. Okay, I'm going to give you my crave breakdown. In my business, I have built a crave method. Okay, my crave method is C for conceptualize, R for refine, A for assemble, V for value, E for execute. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you can apply my crave method to help you build your high value November offer. Okay, so let's go with C and conceptualize. Start with your client's current pain point, not their long-term vision. Where are they right now? Some people are thinking about family. Okay, or having to deal with family, how they show up with family. Some of them are thinking about, having that aunt that's going to ask them, when are they getting married? When are you all having children? When are you going to do this? Oh, that's a cute little business. Are you successful yet? So how many, they're doing those things that are like microaggressions, right? And micro critiques of your life. So whenever you're thinking about your audience, think about what are they struggling with right now that I can help them solve in the next 30 to 45 days. Okay, so in the next 30 to 45 days, how can you help them deal with family, deal with rejection or criticism or things of that nature? Or how are you going to help them in the next 30 or 45 days after they've eaten November away, or whatever the case is? Think about that. That's emergent. That's now. That's that urgent need that they have, right? What's going to help me now, not long term? Because, okay, let's be real. If you are a health and wellness coach and you focus on kind of like a weight loss meal plan or something like that, really, for them to think about that swimsuit in summer, that's not emergent. That's not now. That's not an urgency, right? Because are they really thinking about the summer of 2026? Probably not. They're thinking about that meal that they're going to have where it has all the fixings and all the cheese and the fried stuff, and they're thinking the cakes and the pies and all that stuff that this time of year kind of bombards us with. Or even if they're not having these highly attended, highly anticipated family functions, then they're probably, like me, thinking about comfort food being in your house, that's going to warm you up. So how can I remain healthy and still have all the comfort foods that winter affords me, right? So think about that. Think about what your November angle is going to be. So instead of thinking about a 6-month coaching program that's going to help them get their, summer body, or help them to apply for that new position. They're not thinking about that right now. Think about that 30-day meal plan, or 30-day get shred end of year weight, or whatever the case is. Think about that. Same transformation, tighter window, faster ROI. Okay? Let's move into R. So refine. Okay? So when we talk about refining, I want you to strip out anything that feels heavy or complex. You have elements of your coaching program where it's going to be a longer period of time because you're going to go in depth. You're going to get deeper. You're going to talk about some real issues and all that nitty gritty nooks and crannies stuff. Take that out and simplify it. Simplify your promise, simplify the process. One outcome, one path, one deliverable. Okay? If it takes you more time than 2 sentences to explain your offer, it's too complicated. If you have to explain this offer in more than 2 sentences, you have overly complicated this offer and the transformation. Again, one outcome, one path, one deliverable. You want the same transformation, tighter window, faster ROI. You see where we're going here? Do you get it? Okay? Any questions? Any questions while I take my next water break? Let's see. Let's go here to the chat. Okay, thanks for the examples. How did you know that was what my question was going to be? I have no idea, except for the experience for the last 15 plus years of working with coaches. You know what? Nothing is new under the sun. Just maybe it just might come in a different package. Okay. Okay. So let's talk about a symbol. Decide how you're going to deliver this offer. Is it going to be a one-on-one intensive? I will highly suggest that because it's easy. It's easy in the setup. You don't have to, create a whole bunch of downloadables and things of that nature. Here's a link, book, pay, or pay, book. Keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it. You don't need a whole, bunch of stuff at this point. Okay? Again, we're talking about quick conversions, quick transformations. Okay? So a one-on-one intensive, a 2-week or a 30-day group sprint, a VIP day. That's another one I will highly recommend. So the one-on-one intensive or the VIP day. You can even do a short hybrid program if you like, but again, keep it simple and make sure whatever you choose that it fits your capacity and it still delivers your results, your promised results. Again, don't overly complicate it, because if you overly complicate it, it's going to take you more time to build and launch, and it's going to take more time for your audience to experience that transformation, and it's going to take more out of you. So when it's time for you to actually deliver it or go into your Q1 launch sprint or phase or mode or whatever you want to call it, you don't have the energy, you don't have the mindset, you don't have the space, the bandwidth, you don't have it because of what you did here. This is not to wear you out. This is to help you create and rev up momentum so that you can go into your Q1 launch ahead of the curve. You can't be ahead if you're exhausted. Does that make sense? Okay, so however you decide to deliver this offer, make sure it's simple as can be. Okay, so a comment came here. Jay, you once told me stop worrying about the website. Have a link where they can book you. Exactly. Exactly. The other stuff we can build later. Right now, if you want, the goal is to get clients. The goal is for conversions, right? This, right now is the time for you to finish this year strong, to create and rev up momentum. Stop making it so complicated and hard for yourself. Okay? So V is value. This is where most coaches get stuck. It's pricing. Your November offer should be a high value, not high volume. I'm going to say that again. The offer should be a high value, not a high volume. People pay for what they want. People pay for what they want. Have you noticed that Apple, whenever Apple does discounts or sales or something, it's like you're not getting an iPhone or an iPad or a MacBook or anything like that for some ridiculous price. They know their value and they know that you will pay for what you want. So if you're looking for the iPhone 17, 20, 35, if you really want it, you're going to pay for it. So if your audience really wants that transformation and you articulate the value in it, they will pay for what they want. And I want you to know this. Let's be clear. You're not running a clearance sale. Let me say that again. You are not running a clearance sale. That is not the business that you're in. The business that you're in is not for bargain pricing. Okay? So you're creating a premium, time-sensitive opportunity. That's what you're providing. Okay? So think about this and ask yourself, what's the transformation worth? You want to have a balance here, not what it's worth to you, because we know that, it's worth $20,000 to you. But what is it really worth to them? What's the energy output that's required, not only on their behalf, but on your behalf? And then what's the ROI for your client? We've already talked about what the ROI is for you, but what is the return on investment for them? Then once you figure out that, once you answer those three questions, then you want to price accordingly. Typically, it's going to be 20 to 30% lower than what your signature offer is, but it's never devalued. Okay, so if you're looking for, okay, so Jay, that's great. So can you give me a ballpark? Again, think about typically 20 to 30% lower than your signature offer. Okay. All right. So now E is going to be to execute. Once your offer is packaged, you want to promote it with for the next 10 to 14 days. Promote it for the next 10 to 14 days. That is a short window. But make sure that your messaging is strong. You want to use urgent messaging. You want to use a lot of clear and direct messaging. You could use things like, let me think. This is your chance, your last chance to finish 2025 off strong and start 2026 with fill in the blank. This is the opportunity. Now is the time. Right? So you want to promote it across all channels, like your emails, your stories, on social media, everywhere, LinkedIn. Use case studies or quick wins to help you push this. Don't use a whole bunch of hype. Use real case studies and quick wins. If you have a membership, then what are people saying in the membership? They're coming to you and they're telling you about their transformation. So what are they saying? You have testimonials, then why are you sitting on them? Why don't you share them? Jay, I have a whole list of testimonials that I have not even mentioned yet. And why? Why haven't you mentioned your testimonials? Why haven't you shared them? What are the people saying? Are you embarrassed by the testimonials? I'm sure people are not giving testimonials like this is trash. I'm sure they're not doing that. So what are they saying? And why are you hiding them? Those are the questions you need to ask yourself. Okay? So let's get into some examples. Here are a few examples for November offers that will work. So, like a year-end systems audit VIP day. Help your clients, or help clients prepare for 2026 if you are a service-based provider. Another one would be lose the holiday 15 in 30 days. Another one would be a 30-day cash flow sprint, a group offer for coaches who need quick wins. You see that? A 30-day cash flow sprint. All of these have one thing in common. They solve an immediate problem that leads directly into your 2026 service suite or offer suite. Okay? So here's your homework for Q5 for you to do this week. I want you to grab your top performing offer from 2025. And then I want you to ask yourself, what version of this offer solves a faster, shorter, and more specific problem? Okay? How can I sell that outcome before January 1st? Then I want you to package that high value November offer. I want you to post it, email it, talk about it. You have got 2 weeks to do that. So I want you to go ahead and make it count. You have the time, you have the ability. It is possible. So I want you to go ahead and do that. Again, take that top performing offer from this year and then ask yourself, what version of this offer can solve a faster, shorter, more specific problem, and then how can I sell that before January 1st? Okay, that's your homework for this week. Now, if you need help crafting or pricing that offer, then I want you to go ahead, if wherever you're watching me, go to where my links are. If you're watching me on Facebook, Instagram, where else am I going? And LinkedIn, then in the comments or in my link tree, then you're going to find a link to click on a discovery call. If you're watching me on YouTube, or if you're watching, or if you're listening to this replay on a podcast. In the description, there is a link. Go ahead and click it. Let's talk about how to craft and price this offer. Now, if you want single focus sessions with me where I get my eyes on your business, if you want for me to get a look at your offer suite in more detail, then I want you to join the waitlist for my coaching business prep call. This is where I apply that Q5 and Q1 strategy, and I take a look at everything that you have going on and help you make the most out of what you have as your offer suite as it is right now, how we can grow it, make it better. Okay, both links are in the description. Now I want you to tell me in the comments, what's your November offer going to be? Okay, I want us to hold each other accountable. This is the community. I am here for you as always. Okay, so if you have any questions, before I go and sign off, let me go back to the chat. Let me see what's going on here. Thanks, Jay. I needed that. Definitely clicking on all the links. Okay, you don't have to click on all the links. Just pick one will do. But if again you need that urgent look at what the offer for November is going to be, then definitely book a free discovery call with me. I give freely because I received freely. So I have no problem helping you come up with ideas, and help you price this offer. But again, as I said before, a great start is to look at your main high value offer and then reduce it by 20 to 30%. That's going to give you a jump start. But if you still need some help figuring that out, definitely book a discovery call with me. Let's see what other questions here. Got my business all together in less than 30 minutes. All right, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. So my handles on all platforms are J Black & Co. or J Black Co. Everywhere. It's one of the two. Either one is going to get you to me, and you can always follow. You can always go to my website, get on my email list. I give more content, more information, more resources, more freebies with the Coaches Funnel Insider group, which is my email list. Those are my girls, my buddies, my business besties. So they get all the goods. So you want to definitely join that, and you could do so either on the links that's in the descriptions on whatever platform I'm on, or you can go to jblackandco.com. Okay, and you can join the email list. Anything else before I close this out? I'm craving to work with Jay. Well, I'm craving to work with you. So let's go ahead and start working on how we can work together. Go ahead and get on the wait list. Because whenever I'm going to be opening that up soon, and I want you to have first cracks at that. So go ahead and get on the list, and we can start working on your offer suite and working together. And I can apply my registered Crave method on your business. All right. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. You could have been doing anything else in the world, but you chose to spend this time with me, and I am forever grateful and thankful. Y'all have a good one, and I'll see you till next time. Bye.